But now, okay, you're watching Music Rant, and we're here with the Mandolas. Later on the show, we are going to have the people responsible for Kerry Shtyle, Pulp Fiction Kerry Shtyle, which is taken over the interweb. Lads, welcome to Music Rant.
Thanks very much.
It's an absolute pleasure to have you here in the show. And first up, we would just like to ask you, why are you here? Why did you start playing music?
Just fans, I suppose, really, and ended up picking up an instrument or two, and
okay,
snowballed.
Yeah, we met very luckily at a course in Cork, music sound and management course in Kalash, the Stefan Nefa.
Okay.
Yeah, and so we kind of came together. We ended up together in a band there, and it just kind of started going well. So we decided to take it to the next level, hopefully.
And who were you listening to at that point, where made you want to pick up a guitar and kind of get into it, like?
At first, like we were talking about this last night, I suppose Oasis definitely for me.
That's what everyone says.
Everyone knows that. Yeah.
Oasis every time.
That was a big deal.
You're like 9 or 10 playing a tennis racket, listen to Oasis.
Now I assume you don't want to be like Oasis now.
Well, no, we don't know. No, be that similar, I'd say, to Oasis.
For anyone who hasn't heard you, how would you? I know this is a tough question to ask any artist, but how would you kind of describe your sound? How would you summarise it?
Definitely folk based, anyway, down to instrument wise, because we're fairly like Mandola and bouzouki, Mandola heavy and stuff.
Okay.
A lot of harmonies and stuff.
But hark back to maybe the days of Planksty,
yeah,
with kind of maybe a few more modern elements like Fleet Fox-esque harmonies and things like that.
Absolutely, yeah, I can hear that. And you tremendous vocal harmonies. As I said to you beforehand, I was trying to convince the lads to sing a cappella in the studio, but live TV is a tough game, and you're saying, the Christmas holidays have only finished. So, I mean, why are you in the game? Is the dream to be famous?
Well, no, I can't answer for me. But well, no, like the dream. I suppose the dream is to play as many enjoyable venues as possible, and to constantly release music, and to develop kind of artistically, and I don't know, to try to build it up to a level, where we can tour around and make it self-sufficient,
Well, speaking of self-sufficiency, I mean, do you think the music industry in the current state that it's in can you make a sustainable living out of it these days?
It's tough. Like, look what happened in the last week, even. Do you know what I mean? The whole HMV thing, and
yeah,
like it's definitely harder than it would have been years ago.
Yeah, like a good gigging circuit spread out around the globe, I suppose, would be the ideal in this climate to making a living. But I mean, I suppose building up something like that would take a long time. And people don't really pay for music anymore, so there's not much coming on that side of things,
Yeah,
so it's definitely a struggle.
When you've money in your pocket, you'll pay for music, I find. But other than that, that kind of way, definitely want to support it personally. Same with like movies and the cinema and everything. If there's a film that I do want to see, I will pay for a ticket.
Yeah,
absolutely. Like we do our best to support local artists. Now we'd buy any album that would come out just to kind of give
fair
them
play.
a boost over.
That's the way to do it. Now, speaking of gigging, first thing that comes to your head in terms of best gigs today, you might have a different experience between you. But start with Mick.
There was, I suppose, two that come to mind really. We launched our EP in Cypress Avenue in April.
Okay.
And that was great because we'd been away from gigging for a while. We were constantly recording everything, all the build up to it, and then we got a really good crowd in Cypress Avenue. So that was great. That was our first real kind of big gig. Like that was our own gig.
Packed the venue,
yeah, it was great.
You were headlining.
Yeah, we were delighted with it. And then there was another one we did the Clancy Brothers Festival in Carrick-on-Shore. But we did a festival, or we did a theatre there. The festival that was last year, and the year beforehand we supported Paul Brady at it. And but this year gone, it was our own gig, and that was full house again, and it was kind of
great. Yeah, it
was kind of a homecoming gig for me as well, from near where I'm from, and it was great. Yeah, it was great.
All right, Colm, now I'm going to ask you the next question because you've answered the best gig question. What's the worst gig you've ever played?
Starting out, there were a few tough ones. Like, I mean, you're never going to be on full form all the time anyway. But there was one in particular, I can't remember the venue now, but it was somewhere in Bantry, I think, and we just weren't on form, and we had to do our own sound, and there weren't many people there, and people were jumping off the stage to fix levels.
It's a nightmare.
It was just one of those nights.
When the audience are feeling the panic with you,
everybody was cringing.
Yeah. So it kind of kills the momentum, no doubt.
Absolutely, but you get over those things.
Yeah, exactly.
So there's two of you missing today.
Yes.
Yeah, it's 4 in total, the Mandolas, by the way. What's the story with the boys? They like yourselves, or?
They're living down in Skibbereen.
Skibbereen. I'm not familiar with Skibbereen. You'll have to enlighten me.
Well, they're two They're originally from Yorkshire.
Oh, from Yorkshire?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So-
They live in West Cork, like Skibbereen.
So they basically have a West Cork vocabulary with a Yorkshire accent, if you can picture such a thing.
I can't.
But,
two brothers.
yeah.
So, yeah, incredible musicians and great friends, but they couldn't make it tonight, unfortunately.
Bastards.
I know.
No big deal, guys. Yes, so is it a band with big egos and clashing or anything like that?
Absolutely.
Any divas in the bunch?
Absolutely, yeah.
Just 4 walking egos, really.
It's probably the two who aren't here. It's,
Yeah,
it's,
that's it.
I think they're awful
the way.
for it, yeah.
So I would like to ask you, in terms of acts you've opened for, because I heard you've got some great support slots over the years. That's how I read. Anyway, who would have been your personal favourite, either of you?
For me, it was probably Neil Hannon.
Neil Hannon from the Divine
it was
Comedy.
great. That was
I really enjoyed the Paul Brady one.
the Paul Brady one was the
Paul
first.
Brady, Neil Hannon. That's
Yeah,
not a bad start.
The
lads.
Paul Brady one was the first real. It was the biggest gig we'd done by far.
And where was that
Yeah.
on?
That was the Clancy Brothers
That's the
Festival
Clancy
year
Brothers
before
Festival,
last.
yeah.
Yeah,
I think we had only been playing for about 8 months before that,
Yeah.
so it was like we were kind of shaking before we
Oh,
went
it
on.
was terrifying.
It was a bit rough and
Absolutely
ready, but
terrifying,
it was really
And
enjoyable.
would you just have a few drinks before you go on?
No,
No, we tried that a few times and it never really worked.
Just stick to the
Yeah.
cocaine. So
That's it.
That's
That's
it.
it,
Six
yeah.
to the
It's like
class
to thank the
A's.
lads for bringing the cocaine today. You really boosted the evening. Worst act you've opened for? Want to talk about that?
Jesus,
Any dickheads?
a
Give us any
dangerous
names?
question.
No. We've been fairly lucky, I think.
We
really, in
have.
fairness.
It's
Yeah.
but like any walk of life, there's always a few
Skip that
people-
card, so.
Yeah.
Again, I was listening to your EP, which is absolutely fantastic, available at HMV. What's the songwriting process? How does that go down? Because you're writing at the moment, aren't you?
We are writing
Yeah.
at the moment, yeah. I think it's kind of different for every song, really, because we all write individually.
Okay, so
So-
everyone's writing.
Yeah.
And whoever writes the song, do they sing lead on the song? Is that
No,
how it
no,
works,
we'll
or-
switch.
Not
around.
always, no. Mm.
It might happen every now and again that it's kind of somebody might write something and say, I think this is more suited to your voice than me, even. Do you know what I mean? So
Very democratic.
it's kind of a
try to
healthy
do
way
the
to have
song
it.
justice.
Yeah, yeah.
Fair play.
So we usually one person will come with the kind of foundation of the song,
Yeah.
and we'll all just work away on it ourselves until it sounds like a Mandola song, I suppose.
For the
It's kinda
greater good.
Father
Great
Ted in the
good.
raffle, you know, with the hammer on the car.
Yeah, yeah.
Came in great, but then
Yeah, yeah.
we get our hands on it.
So what do you write about? I mean, do you both write songs yourselves lyrically? You know, it's just obviously, I don't know if it has to be about the lyrics, or obviously the sound can come from emotion or something like that, but generally, what are the topics? Is it always women? That seems to be the way.
It's
Not
everything
really.
and
It's
anything, really.
kind of general. Like the stuff I'm writing at the moment is very much like kind of seize the day kind of attitude stuff and live your life and
Yeah,
Yeah,
It,
yeah.
it tends to be generally positive.
yeah, yeah, I suppose that's,
Well, that's
a common
good.
thread.
Yeah, yeah.
There's enough angsty music out there anyway.
There is.
So
Oh, we'll get to that. We'll get to
Can't
that.
get too angsty with the bazooka.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll tell you what annoys me. There's great bands who are kind of playing on our roots and the Irish tradition, and it seems like the band who are doing the best out of that at the moment are the likes of Mumford and Son, who are like rapping our lovely traditional Irish sound, and that should be somebody from our nation, should it not? You know,
Who knows?
not to be
Whoever's good at
racist,
it, you know.
but
I mean, they're a fairly tight outfit, to be fair. you
They're
know.
very
They've
tight
got-
outfit.
You know what they're up to, like.
They do. They have it well planned out, and they've got great harmonies and.
yeah,
you
but
know,
let's
fair
talk
play.
shit about them here. You know? Is there anyone you think? I mean, potentially in Ireland that could, you know, represent us in that facet now and take over the Mumford?
It's hard to
The
say,
mantle.
I
really.
don't know. We kind of. Well, I won't say we had our Mumford, but Planksty for us, like, they'd be a hard act to follow. You know, for anyone, like, you know,
yeah.
they were like. For 4 lads with acoustic instruments like that, I find it hard to see anyone that would be able to do a better job, you know. But that's just my opinion.
Yeah, yeah. Do you mean at the moment, or?
At the moment, yeah. I don't know. I've often said, especially on this show, that just kind of guitar music seems to be dead at the moment. You know, in terms of, well, this is talking about the charts. Like, I mean,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, which we all know is run by 14-year-old girls. The other people are
absolutely.
paying for iTunes downloads and whatnot. But yeah. So at the moment, take us through what's going
I
on.
think it's fairly healthy anyway. Definitely Cork, even especially. It's just
I'm learning
like-
that fast. Yeah.
like you see, even like Mick Flannery, the last album was unreal. Like he's doing great.
Oh, I mean, the likes of John Beck and the Rats are doing brilliant
great
kind
job.
of.
They have an album coming out now soon, so everybody's kind of waiting for
It's
that.
all country folk and
Yeah,
really genuine sound there. Hopefully they'll do well.
Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely.
There's plenty like
But in terms of you guys, what's happening at the moment? It's purely just songwriting and getting.
It is basically. We're kind of rethinking a few things and maybe streamlining our sound a small bit. You know.
Yeah.
Streamlining.
Yeah,
streamlining. We need more synergy in the group.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, buzzwords. Yeah.
Excellent, excellent. And tell us what's next, lads.
I suppose just right away for a good while now and kind of, I suppose, hone in on a sound.
Yeah.
Rather than for the last, say, year and a half, we've been playing very folky stuff or very poppy stuff, or do you know what I mean?
So what's the sound you're honing in on then?
We don't really know yet.
Well, when we started out, you know, like we were just four lads bringing in kind of random songs to play. We never really sat down and, you know, thought about any concepts or any kind of type of song that should be played. We just kind of went for all of it, you know.
Yeah.
So now I think we're kind of rethinking and writing in a certain way to suit what we think our best features would be.
Yeah.
You know, like kind of maybe harmonies, more emphasis on them, more top it into them, and maybe more kind of vibrant kind of, you know, tunes and playing and all that stuff combined, you know.
Absolutely.
With an album in mind somewhere down the line, do you know what I mean? That's the kind of next thing to build to, really, I suppose, you know.
It's getting a bit darker, you know. More concepty.
More angst.
More Christmassy. I want more Christmassy stuff.
Working on the Christmas single. It's going to take us a year. But it's going to go 90.
Wait till you hear those bells.
Okay, so you're obviously going to be playing the festival summer circuit, or the summer festival circuit, rather.
Yeah.
Because that's, as I kind of scanned through your videos on YouTube today, I mean, you've been hitting big stages and you're getting great hits on your stuff on YouTube, etc. So obviously that seems like the natural path.
Well, hopefully, anyway. That's the plan, anyway.
Well, I'm advocating you now. The Mandola is a fantastic listen. Right, when I have someone actually live physically in the studio, what I'd like to do is play a little game called Who's More Rock and Roll. So, boys, there's going to be 5 questions. This week it'll be called Who's More Folk. You know what? They aren't very rock and roll questions anyway. So, we got a true or false round, first of all, right? And David, you'll keep score, will you? Yeah, that was a yes from David, who's looking very hip-hop today. I like to call this round the depressing round, and you'll find out why. Mick, true or false? Jack Johnson has sold more albums than The Strokes, Arcade Fire, MGMT and The Smiths combined.
Ooh. That's false, is it?
It's sadly true. Column.
Sorry.
That's one iota. Katy Perry has had as many US #1s from the one album as Michael Jackson. True or false?
This is false.
True again. Now you see why that.
You see, if you were smart, round. You should have said.
Never claimed to be smart.
If you listened, lads, and heard it was the depressing round, you might have. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so
2 + 2 = 5.
Depression round 2. No, if you're getting a low, just let me know. We'll get somebody on the phone. It's another true or false. Mick, The Clash have had more #1s than Steps. True or false?
False.
Correct. The Clash have had 0 #1s, which is absolutely disgusting. Colin, The Beatles have had more songs in the US charts than the cast of Glee. True or false?
False.
You're getting it, lads. Okay, so that's one each.
I'm a quick learner.
I shouldn't have called it the depressing round. All right, so we're going to, as usual, rip off the kind of Never Mind the Buzzcock style, as whatever that Irish show was called. They did the same thing. It's grand. We can get away with it. So you have to complete the lyrics, right? So I'm going to speak to you a line, and you have to complete the lyrics. Pretty self-explanatory. Mick, when the sun shines, we'll shine together.
Told you I'd be here forever.
Yeah.
Tune.
Rihanna.
Rihanna.
Yeah. Leave Chris Brown. That's all I'm saying. Leave Chris Brown. So Colin, with your feet in the air and your head on the ground.
That's the Pixies.
Come on.
Correct.
Something and spin it.
He can't get that.
No.
I can't get it. Fair enough.
And the answer was try this trick and spin it.
Damn it. Wouldn't have gotten it.
All right, Mick, complete the lyrics. It won't be long.
Nothing. I can't get anything. Nothing.
And the answer was, it won't be long. Yeah. So
I said no. I was as wrong as I could have been.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like me in the first round.
The other side of the coin.
What's
right, Colin, from the Beatles, It Won't Be Long. It won't be long. Yeah, just one more
That's
time.
Shameful,
It is a little shameful. All right, Colin. Well, since you put me down, I've been out doing In My Head.
Like a bat out of hell. I'll be gone when the morning comes. No.
I feel like accepting that. I actually
He
do.
always goes straight
I
back.
I have to throw Meatloaf in every available opportunity. I'm sorry. I didn't know what it was.
Yeah, it was actually the Beach Boys, Help Me Rhonda. Since you put me down, I've been out doing In My Head. Coming late at night, in the morning I just lay in bed.
They're two that we really should have gotten.
Yeah.
But I got
because
Umbrella.
I asked somebody what kind of music you're into. Said the Beatles and the Beach Boys, and so
I know.
they were tailor-made for you.
Who said Rihanna?
No, that was my own doing.
Okay.
She's been on the mind today, Chris. I swear to God. All right, so this is the final round. What points are the lads on, Dave? Oh, thanks for your help.
You're winning, are you? 2-1 or something?
I think it's 2-1. I think it's 2-1.
I've had a fairly shameful
Right,
display, so.
It's 2-1. Okay, thanks, Dave.
Thanks,
That's
Dave.
really appreciated. Good man yourself. Okay, this is the final round, the make or break. Quotes. And you have to tell me, I'm going to read the quote and you have to tell me who said it, okay? So, I don't know anything about music. In my line of work, you don't have to. Was it A, Mick Hucknall, B, Elvis, or C, Ringo Starr?
Surely Ringo.
I'm afraid not. That was Elvis.
Would have got a Ringo, so.
Yeah.
Okay, Colin. When the power of love overcomes the love of power, the world will know peace. A.
Right. That's why we're going to give you options.
A. Jimi Hendrix. B. John Lennon. Or C. Mickey McAnally.
John Lennon.
It was actually Mickey McAnally. Yeah, it was Mickey McAnally.
There you go.
No.
All right, right. So, lads, we're just going to run with the clip.
Might I ask you, who's Mickey McAnally?
I made him up.
Oh, right.
It was actually Jimi Hendrix, yeah. Okay, so,
still wrong, yeah.
lads, I don't know if you've seen this yet, but Pulp Fiction, Kerry Shtyle.
Brilliant.
So part 2 was just released, and we have ourselves a little exclusive interview with the lads, so we're just going to roll with that clip now. All right, we are joined today by the creators of the viral video Pulp Fiction, Kerry Shtyle, Bob Jackson and Dave Williams. And before we get chatting to those boys, we're going to give you a little look at their latest video, Pulp Fiction, Kerry Shtyle 2.
An English Bob.
I know that. No.
Was he cool or what?
Thank you.
Totally fucking cool. In control. Didn't he, he didn't really get pissed when we were fucking with him. I was amazed.
John's bacon.
Nah man, I only ate pork.
You were Jewish.
I ain't Jewish, I just don't dig on swine, that's all.
Why not?
Pigs are filthy animals. I don't eat filthy animals.
Yeah, but bacon tastes good. And pork chops taste good.
Hey, so that may taste like pumpkin pie, but I'll never know because I wouldn't eat the filthy motherfuckers. Pigs sleep and root in shit, that's a filthy animal. I ain't eating nothing that ain't got sense enough to disregard its own feces.
How about dog? Dog eats his own feces.
I don't eat dog either.
Yeah, but you consider a dog.
Okay, lads. So, an absolute pleasure to have you here chatting to us today.
Thanks, Andy. Thanks.
Must be quite the little journey you gents have been on in the last couple of weeks, yeah?
Yeah, it's been kind of unexpected, to say the least. And that's fantastic. Really great buzz. The whole college is really excited about it,
Yeah.
And yeah, there's no way we would have thought it would have got the reaction it did.
Absolutely fantastic. And tell us this, just going back to the beginning, we'll get to the buzz later on, but why did you make the video?
It's actually a class project, so it's a tutorial in dialogue recording. So this is the third year that I've done it. So I teach on the music technology degree, and the lads are studying audio post-production. So as part of that, then there's a part of it where they learn how to record dialogue and edit it and dub it with a piece of film. So I've used that same clip for the last couple of years.
No way. Okay. So this is something that you've been using those same Tarantino big kind of dialogue-y scenes and. Yeah,
exactly. But what I would have done previously was to take a longer section, so maybe 3 or 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And a lot more dialogue. So it just got to a stage where you couldn't really finish it. There was just too much. So this year I decided just to take 1 minute to get it finished for YouTube.
And
so we recorded on a Tuesday, and then edited in class on the Wednesday, and then on the Thursday Owen put it up on his YouTube account, and then he just put it up to show his cousin, and then after that then started snowballing and it took off. Completely unexpected, but brilliant, great buzz.
And just out of curiosity, I'm wondering, how did you record it? Did you go line by line, or what was the process there?
We split up the scene into little segments. We'd say myself and Nolan had 2 lines each, and we go backwards and forwards with that on a loop recorder on Pro Tools. We'll just go back and forth and just keep repeating until it was pretty much spot on. And because to cut down on editing time, really, just to get it as spot on as you can in the studio when you're doing it.
Very good. And I assume as well this is an exercise in Foley work and everything else, because you have to remove the entire soundtrack, don't you?
That's right, yeah. So for this one, we needed to do Foley, so the lads did the plates and the cup movements for the Pulp Fiction 2, the one that just went up yesterday.
Yep.
So there's the slurping and a few things like that, so it was just a case of watching it on screen and then miking up a plate on a table and moving it around as you need it, you know?
Exactly. And tell us this, skipping to where it is now. I mean, how did you feel when you saw on the Graham Norton show Quentin Tarantino watching your clip? That must have been a bit of a shocking experience. Did you know that was going to happen?
Yeah, it was a surprise. All right, now, in fairness.
Do they have to come for permission?
I think someone said that commented on the YouTube video. They said that they tweeted to Graham Norton that he said he might show it on the show in January, but we thought he was only kind of messing or whatever. But he actually must have been actually tweeting him, and he did show it in the end. To be fair to him, so.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, I was watching something else, and then I started getting texts. And when I saw the first one, I thought it was a piss take, but then got another one from someone completely unconnected. And then it was like after that, obviously, got onto YouTube and started looking around or Google trying to find anything about it. But you know, it became fairly obvious then fairly quickly. And then the following morning, someone had put up a clip from the Graham Norton show. You know, so it was amazing just to see it. You know.
And of course, what I took from that is you've now got permission to overdub the entire film from the man himself.
Yeah, that's right. I've actually emailed Miramax to see what the story is. Like, first of all, would they give us permission to do it? And then second of all, would they give us, like, we're thinking about it, that if you got rid of just the dialogue, so as if it was being sent to Spain or France or someplace where they, you know, they dub it into different languages. So what the film company will do is that they'll give the dubbing company, like in whatever language, that they'll give them the soundtrack minus the dialogue. So all the sound effects, the music and everything is on the same track. So if we could get that, it'd be much easier. But if we had to do it from scratch with all of the Foley and all of the sound effect and music, it would just take a huge, could take months and months, you know. So first of all, if we get permission, definitely we'll try to figure it out. One way of doing it anyway, you know.
Very good. And so are you teacher's pet now?
No.
No more.
The lads now, in fairness, will be getting a lot more kind of leeway on their marks.
I should think so. I should think so, yeah. Probably able to smoke in class now and everything, are you?
Maybe 340, we'll see.
Yeah.
So this wasn't a case of the guys bringing the idea to you. This is something you do every year.
Yeah. So obviously, like, well, we've used the same clip. So last year there was a guy from Derry and another guy from Kerry as well. So we had John Travolta in a Derry accent, which was actually very good. The previous year was a fella from Dublin and a guy from West Cork. So you had John Travolta was the Dublin accent and the guy from West Cork was the Samuel L. Jackson. And they're all really funny because it's a great class because you end up like literally falling around the studio laughing because so when it works, it's really funny, but when it doesn't, you know, it's kind of take it or leave it. But it's always very enjoyable. That one particular class, definitely, you know. The rest of them, you know, they wouldn't be as much fun as that, you know.
And tell us this, do you have a lot of pissed off ex-students now going, why wasn't our clip? We did that, we did it better.
There's a few guys around and they're kind of going, it could have been me, you know, kind of thing. But it's all, I mean, it's just a good laugh.
You never know how these things are going to go, do you? You know, it just kind of spitballs, isn't it?
Because, like I said, Owen only put it up. Yeah. Owen put it up just to show his cousin, and like we could have done some more editing on it, and you know, you could do more with it, but you know, it was just as a demonstration more than anything else. But Jesus, we never would have expected the reaction it got. Like, you know. Yeah,
absolutely. And tell us this: what doors has it opened up for you now?
We don't know, really. You know, like it could be dead this time next week. You know, you just don't know. I mean, it is good for the course and everything, and it does. You know, it is good for promoting the course and that kind of thing because, like, obviously, in a course like music technology, you try to make it relevant to areas where people could work in, and there's definitely a lot of work in that type of audio post production. Same thing for computer games, and you know, this similar process is involved up to a certain point. But in terms of what we do with this. I mean, if someone got onto us like a sponsor or something like that, if they wanted us to do the whole film, we could work out something like that. The one thing is that to do a full film, and like even half the film would take months, you know. Like to do the one that went up yesterday, it might have been about
altogether 6 hours, 7 hours.
Maybe 6 hours recording, and then maybe another 6 editing. So it does take a lot of time.
And so you're kind of veering off the course syllabus now at this point, are you?
Exactly. Yeah.
You got to make a sequel.
Yeah. So we're going to try to figure out another one for next year, maybe.
Okay, very good. That's what I'm going to ask you. What's next? Would it be Pulp Fiction again, or will you be tempted now to try and do something new?
I'd say I was trying to think of films, but there's some great scenes like in the likes of Apocalypse Now or one of those, where you could take some scenes, that everybody's familiar with. But I know we just have to wait and see, really.
I personally would like to see a Limerick version of With Nell now. I'm just throwing it out there.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, we'll be open to suggestions, definitely. But I mean, we'll see how things go. Like if we get enough reaction, and if, like I said, it is very time consuming. So to do it properly, you would need to, get funded, hopefully. So. If we got permission from Miramax, we'd definitely look for funding.
Absolutely, yeah, it's a great idea. Well, listen, lads, all the best of it. And as I can see, it's gonna spitball this one as well. And I'm sure everyone's gonna watch the sequel and be wondering what's gonna happen next. So, thanks a million for taking the time to talk to Feck TV. And yeah, best of luck in the future. I'd like to thank our guests. Bob and David, is it?
Yeah.
Bob and Dave, and also the Mandolas for being with us here in the studio today. So, thanks a million, and join us next week for Music Rant.
Thanks, guys.